Hello and a warm welcome to the TNC podcast, your go-to listen for Norwich City news, trivia, fun, nonsense. That's about it. Good to see you, Chris.
You too, mate.
I've come to a real realisation over the last...
A real realisation?
A real one.
Yeah.
48 hours. I don't think football's for me. I don't think football's for me. I spent the entire latter stage of last week worrying about the first leg.
Yes.
And then we got through it and I thought, I can breathe now.
Yeah.
I reckon 5 minutes after the full-time whistle, I was anxious for Thursday.
It dawned upon you that you're actually going to Elland Road, aren't you?
I am.
So that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. And look, I said it to you, and it was really strange, actually. I love gathering the thoughts of fans pre-match and talking to them and going, how are you feeling? And actually, the mood was very calm around the place. And that wasn't good for me, because I felt the opposite. And I was going, lads, I've been worried all week for this. I was more worried for yesterday than I was the East Anglian derby.
I cannot believe that.
I think there's more on the line.
I can't believe that, mate. The derby was massive.
Yeah, but we knew we were going to win that.
But yeah, that's good. I love that from you. That's good. There's nothing like derby day nerves. But I was also not really nervous.
But why? There's so much on the line.
Because Jack, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. But what I'm thinking about
Have you become complacent?
No, but what I'm thinking, Jack, is from where we were in the winter, that turgid run of form, where you said there's a serious chance of us getting relegated.
Reverse psychology.
And now all of a sudden we find ourselves in the playoffs. And it's kind of like, it feels to me a bit like bonus ball territory, actually. And I wasn't afraid that Leeds would smash us up at Carrow Road. I thought that we could have got a draw, which we did, brilliant, or a win. Unfortunately, we didn't get the latter. So I wasn't particularly nervous about that one. I am nervous going to Elland Road, which is why we said in the last pod that we need at least a 1 or 2 goal deficit, but we'll go into that later on.
Maybe you're taking the more mature approach of taking one game at a time. I'm thinking 3 months ahead and going, oh boy, if we lose this, wave goodbye to all the fun players.
Oh, yeah, but I just don't think you can think like that. Yes, that will be on the horizon, but for the time being, just enjoy the ride that is the playoffs.
I must say, I'm just looking at this mug now. We've got the Champions 2018-2019 mug. Some great moments on there.
Are you going to put some mugs?
If we
put some mugs back on sale soon, Jack?
If we win the league, I will. Win the playoffs, I will.
Speaking of things on sale,
the Borja Science.
It was so
good.
There were so many fans in the Borja Signs tees.
So good.
Do get your Borja Signs tee. Links in the description.
We got a little strip tease from one of the traffic management lads.
Yeah, that was class.
I mean,
wasn't it?
So they kind of stand.
Can you explain this quickly?
Yeah. I'll provide context. They stand down the side of the Barclay in between us and the away fans, and Jamie, his name is.
Yeah.
Good old Jamie.
Yeah. What a shout out.
In his high vis, must have been boiling because it was hot. And I look to the left and I see Jamie. He's giving me a little nod, and he starts unbuttoning his high vis. And I'm thinking, Jesus, Jamie, it's still 0-0.
He was excited.
Wow, he's seen Gabby Sauer on the ball, and I'm thinking, where's this going?
Yeah.
1 button, 2 button, 3 button, rips it open.
Yeah. And there it was.
And there's the Borja Science tee.
In all its glory.
It was brilliant.
It was bloody brilliant.
So great.
Thank you to Jamie and anyone and everyone that's got a Borja Signs t-shirt.
Links in the description.
The Johnny Rowe t-shirts are going back on sale soon, aren't they, Jack?
They are now. He's back fit.
Yes, correct. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much.
So
Leeds 0, Norwich 0.
Pre-match, you're calm.
Yep.
Did you get nervous at any point? I mean, you must have been excited after the first 20 minutes. We were on top.
Yeah, I think we were the better side in the first 20. I think we had Leeds where we wanted them. They were quite pinned back. Quite defensive, absorbing the pressure, I think, is probably the right phrase to use. And of course, in that phase of play was that big Sargent chance, the header. Cross comes in, brilliant cross, finds himself in between 2 defenders. To be fair to Sarge, he is sandwiched in between 2 Leeds players. Yeah. That ended up being the biggest chance of the game, didn't it, Jack? He did get his head on it, but he kind of didn't, and it just glanced across the goal. And that was the only real sort of big chance. There was
for either team.
Yeah,
Really? I think there were 3 shots on target for both teams.
Yeah, so so Leeds had 2 shots on target. We had 1 shot on target all game. So that, I think, sums up the story of the game, doesn't it? For me, Jack, the first leg was a tale of 2 scared managers, and neither one of them wanted to actually bring the game to the opposition. And maybe that is the right thing to do. I'm not a qualified football manager, so maybe my opinion is not fair.
Well, I get Wagner's approach, because as we saw from that Leeds team, and as we've seen firsthand at Carrow this season, their main strength is on the counter.
Yes.
So if you start launching players forwards,
yeah.
I mean, as soon as Somerville's the player, isn't he? As soon as he gets on the ball, he can make things happen.
Yes.
I thought Nonso was good. Ruta.
Yes.
That's a scary front line.
Absolutely.
And I suspect Leeds fans are going as well, because the argument from Norwich fans is always, and I do get it, you've got Science, Sarah, Rowe and Sargent.
Yeah.
Why are we not utilising them? Why are we not throwing players forward? Leeds could say the same. You know, Somerville, Ruta, Dan James when he came on.
Yeah.
As you say, a very cagey affair. I suspect Leeds will be the happier of the 2 teams. Going away from home, you take it back to your place, and it's essentially now a 1 leg affair, isn't it? It's a knockout from here, and I suspect they will be happy that they're not behind.
Yes, but I can see it from both sides of the fence, Jack. I think David Wagner was actually right. I mean, afterwards he came out saying something along the lines of, every second that goes by at Elland Road is a minute in our favour, or something he came out with after the game.
Who said that?
David Wagner after the match. And as much as it doesn't make sense in terms of the second minutes thing, it actually does make sense, because the Leeds crowd will get more and more tense. And I think if we can absorb the pressure within the first 20 minutes at Elland Road, I think we stand a good chance.
I guess the only concern is, and it comes from what we've seen this season, is it does seem we're negative away from home.
Yes.
And I don't drop that word lightly, because I wouldn't say we were negative yesterday. I think it was quite a well-controlled game. Yeah. And on another day, you know, the cross for Sauer is a foot in front of him, he tucks it home. And the Sarge header hits the back of the net. Yes. You could have gone, wow, what a professional, brilliant performance. You've limited Leeds. It's when we go away from home and we stick, you know, six blokes, 7 blokes behind the ball and go, come at us. That's my worry.
Well, the only thing I would say, Jack, I mean, oh God, I don't know. Look, I want to be positive, but if you look at the data set that we've got this season, sorry to sound like a football hipster, our away from home record is dismal, and actually from the eye test, our performances have been shoddy, to say the least, away from home. However, on the whole, I was actually really quite impressed with the way that we defended against Leeds. There was a couple of hairy moments. One that stands out was when Gibbo went, here we go, got another movie reference coming up.
Oh my goodness.
What's the moment in...
You're going to name a film I've
not
seen.
Is it Lord of the Rings, when the bloke goes and he goes,
we're
all going on an adventure? It was kind of like that with Gibbo, where he sort of like went on an adventure, didn't he? And he sort of brought the ball up too high, and he didn't get rid of it, lost it, and all of a sudden, Nonto, Somerville, Ruta are smothering us, and I was like, shit, this is it. So, as long as we don't go on any adventures, Gibbo, I'm looking at you.
I do love it when a defender, and you can see the moment where they've gone, fuck, I've gone too far, but it's too late now, and they try and sort of wiggle their way out of danger. I love that.
But I have to say, it was only one off. Aside from that, I thought Gibbo and Duffy were pretty solid, actually. So, my point is, Jack, if we keep our shape, we don't go on any adventures, and we don't concede within the first 20 minutes, I think we've got a shout. And Norwich fans might be scared to say we've got a shout, but as I said, I think this is bonus territory. Let's just go there and give it a go. And look, of course, the last time we went there this season, we literally just didn't turn up and we barely got out of our own half. However,
I don't think that performance at Elland Road was as bad as you made out.
Well, look, let us know in the description whether you were Jack or myself on that. But for me, it was awfully negative at Elland Road, and really we never looked like scoring. However, we have gone there before during an occasion that was extremely tense. It was when this man had the absolute game of his life, Super Tommy Tribal, and we beat them. It was the Welcome Norwich, wasn't it? So
If we're talking, we'll stick with the defensive line. I must say, so glad to see Dimi Anulis back in there. I think he's such a classy player.
Do you know, Jack, we debated this, didn't we, on the pod last week? We said, I wonder if Sam McCallum will start or whether it'll be the Emperor of Norfolk, Dimi Anulis. And actually, I thought, fair play to David Wagner. He's got a set of kahunas on him there to play Dimi Anulis. Just not because Dimi Anulis is a worse player, absolutely not, but because Sam McCallum had played so many games, it almost seemed harsh on him to drop him for this most important game in the season, right? So, but the Emperor of Norfolk, bloody hell.
He's good, isn't he?
Oh, mate, of course he's good. On his day, he's so good. I mean, it reminded me of why we signed him. Quick, great tackler of the ball, mature, doesn't do anything stupid, in my opinion. Never does anything stupid, uses his head. Obviously, it was a shame that he got a booking, but not the end of the world. You got to take them from time to time. So, yeah, no, on the whole, I was impressed with him.
I don't think there's a huge amount of difference between him and McCallum. And I like McCallum as a player. I think that the difference is, I think Yanulis' positioning is a little bit more mature. I think he knows when to pick his moment to go forwards. But I never have that moment with Yanulis where, Leeds are on the break and you're going, where's our left back? He's always where he needs to be.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that gives you confidence, I think, in these bigger games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Going forwards, Johnny Rowe
in
the starting lineup for the first time since January.
Yes.
Which I couldn't believe.
Yes.
Still, look, Rowe is a player that can create something brilliant in a moment, but you can tell he's still on that road to recovery.
Yeah.
Not quite as influential as we got used to at the start of the season.
Well, yes, but then at the same time, it's the quality of opposition too, isn't it? But I think what I saw slightly more of against Leeds is he was running at players. He hasn't been able to run at players in the games that he's had minutes here and minutes there on. So actually starting the game, I think was a great call from David Wagner. The flip of that is, of course, with all love and respect to the boys on the bench, the quality on the bench just isn't there. We have got players on the bench, of course, that we can bring on that could do something. But that was the thing of having Johnny on the bench, is that we had something to bring on to change the complexion of the game. But now it's like, these are our cards, chips on red, good luck. But no, I think on the whole, it was a positive performance from Johnny Rowe, actually. And I'm really, really hopeful that he can do something really, really special at Elland Road.
It was, I must say, I think that the moment we were all hoping what wouldn't happen did happen, and thankfully it doesn't seem as serious as first thought. But
yes.
Josh Sargent going down, and you're going, oof. Barnes is also currently nursing an injury. Yeah. You've obviously got Big Sid off the bench. You just, at that moment, I thought, oh God, I'm going into a second leg without Barnes or Sarge. For me, that was like, this could be game over now.
Ready for the next movie reference?
Yes.
I had the that's all for now, folks, curtains go up in my brain when I saw Sargent go down. That's all for now, folks. That was it.
What's wrong with you at the moment?
I don't know, I've swallowed it.
I also had, and I love it when people, and not anonymously, but they come to me through private messages because they don't want to be out there publicly.
Yeah.
Quite a few people last week coming to me going, I also review films on IMDb.
Look, there's a reason why they've come to you privately.
Yeah, but I like that.
And there's also a reason why you've told them they were private messages. I would question whether they even exist.
No, they do. I'll show you one. I'll show you one.
No, I don't want to.
I'll show you one.
It's boring.
From a man that I'm not going to name him, but you will know him very well.
Go on.
And I'll let me read it to you. I also do the same thing as you with IMDb.
Yeah, there's no surprise he does that. No surprise.
Yarmouth boy.
Exactly. Anyway, that's my point. Yes, so Sargent went down. Luckily and thankfully, it was confirmed later on that it was basically just contact and it was precautionary to take him off. So he'll be fine for Leeds.
We hope.
I think, Jack, as well.
Go on.
Don't want to.
Go on.
Don't want to.
No, get me excited. Go on.
There could be a slither of hope that maybe we see a bit of big bad Barnsley away at Leeds.
I mean, surely even if he's not 100%, you chuck him in the mixer, don't you?
I mean, for me, if Barnes, if it's 0-0, and it's really tense.
I assume you don't start him. Is he a bit of a...
I must admit, I did
bonus ball off the bench?
Not with his injury that he's got now. But I liked the way that we started against Leeds actually at home. I thought it was a good attacking lineup, so I wouldn't necessarily change that. But I think my point is, big bad Barnsley coming off the bench, Leeds players were thinking, oh, for God's sake, like that is just a proper eye roller.
And I must say, I think we are a better team with Barnes in the squad.
Well,
I really do.
Well, look, it'll be interesting to hear whether people and Norwich fans now can see that, because there was a lot of talk pre-match of it's not that much of a loss, but actually I actually would say, and obviously I'm a huge Sargent
Here we go.
fan.
Here's the controversial moment.
No, it's not. I don't think it's controversial. I think most people will agree with me. I thought Sargent had a relatively poor game against Leeds.
Yeah, he did.
It was his touch that let him down. And the point about Barnsley was Sargent can't hold the ball up like Barnsley can hold the ball up. Well, I know that they're two completely different players, but then that's the value of having Barnsley in that side, because we were playing the same types of balls to Sarge, but he's not that player. And by the way, so to contradict myself, I'm not necessarily criticising Sargent. I'm just saying he's just not Barnsley, and then therefore that's why I believe the ball didn't stick and we couldn't bring the ball.
Well, also you don't want Sarge doing the hold-up job, because you want him off the shoulder.
Of course, and so we were over-reliant on Sainz and Sarah to do the business yesterday. We're only through two players really, which is a tough ask.
I think Barnes. This is how I'd play it.
Go on.
I'd have Barnes starting on the bench.
Yeah.
Same team.
Well, that's providing he can somehow play, because at the minute we don't definitively know.
No. But if he's got two legs that just about work, he's on the bench for me.
Okay.
And then after 60, 70 minutes, because when Rose kind of, he's run his course, he scored a couple of goals, that's when you bring Barnes on.
Mate, there is no chance that Rose getting subbed off for Barnes. He will bring a defender.
No, because we're 2-0 up at this point. Rose scored twice. Johnny Rowe, let's have a go, and then you bring Barnes on, and then it's just a little 20-minute warm-up for Wembley.
So are we speaking about it? So let's talk about the tactics going into this Elland Road game, because I think it's abundantly clear, given what we've seen this season.
You're about to say something I'm not going to like, I think.
David Wagner is going to park the Wagner wagon. He's going to park the Wagner wagon, isn't he?
The Wagonari.
The Wagonari wagon
is
being parked at Leeds. Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what happens if he does that.
Go on.
We lose.
Yeah, but mate, this is why I said that we needed to win the first leg. Because you know how we're going to set up away from home.
Why can't we just set up at Elland Road like we did at Carrow Road? I don't get this whole home tactic, away tactic. It's not worked all season.
Do you know, it's a fucking good point, actually.
Like, why has it got to be different? Let's go to Elland Road. Let's put them on the back foot. We know it's going to be tense there. Nick an early goal. Elland Road goes flat. 80-minute warm-up match.
Right, but let me just challenge you here. I do think there's value in soaking up the pressure for the first 20 to frustrate the Elland Road support.
Yeah. But there's a difference, Chris.
Okay,
there's a difference between just parking the bus and having no intent of going forwards.
Yeah.
And being clever, like I would say we were on Saturday, Sunday.
I have a funny feeling. This is the controversial one, maybe. Actually, no, I don't think it's particularly controversial. I think it's going to be a very, very similar game in the second leg. And I think it's going to penalties.
No.
Mate, I think the second leg's going down to penalties.
Two German managers. I
think it's going down to penalties. And I think this is Angus Gunn's moment of the season. Yeah. But I'll tell you who else's moment of the season it is. Sidney Van Hooijdonk.
What, you stick him on a pen? No.
The donk is going to donk one in.
You put Sidney Van Hooijdonk on penalties?
I think Sidney Van Hooijdonk...
Have you ever seen him take a penalty?
No. But do you know what? Good.
Well, I guess they can't do research that way, can they?
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't do research if he's never taken a penalty.
That's the meme, isn't it?
Oh, I really hope
you can't do research if he's never taken a penalty, Daniel Parker. Look, I think it's going down to penalties. Look, and I'm really interested to hear what.
So you're calling another 0-0?
We're
doing a David Wagner Huddersfield.
Yes, we are. But that's exactly what's happening, Jack.
Oh my goodness!
If you can't see that, I can't help you. I want the Norwich fans to tell us, right? How do you see the second leg going? Do you think, like me, that it's going to go down to penalties? Are Leeds going to completely destroy us? Are Norwich going to win it in normal time? Let us know in the comments.
Well, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I don't... I mean, winning on penalties would be bloody brilliant. But losing on penalties...
Could you imagine that away end? Oh, God.
It's going to be lively now.
That
I'm so glad we've got Tommy Tribal sat next to us because that performance, not only from him, but that team. You know, as you said, we've been to Elland Road before, in big moments, and that was against the Marcelo Bielsa type team.
Yeah. But with all the love and respect to the heroes that have gone before, it's time for new heroes. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. The story has been set. The chapters have been created and are unfolding before our very eyes. Mate, I think Big Angus Gunn in goal.
You're still feeling confident, aren't you? Because we sat here...
There's a bit of self-talk, a bit of delirium. Look, what I would say is, if Leeds score in the first 20, that's all for now, folks. But if they don't score in the first 20, I'm getting really quite aroused really quickly.
So if you're... Yeah.
I don't say you're not. I don't say
you're not. Look, I think it's still very much in the balance, this one. I think there was a lot of, we didn't win at Carrota, it's all over. I thought that performance wasn't too bad from Norwich.
It was all right.
It wasn't too bad.
We didn't actually really go for it, but at the same
we didn't,
time,
but
it wasn't too bad. You're right.
So I'm relatively pleased with Norwich, and I'm also quietly confident that we might be better than this Leeds side. I wasn't overly blown away by them, and I still think they've got playoff trauma in the back of their mind. I still think they're thinking, oof, we should have gone up automatically.
When Derby beat them away, I remember that well.
It's very much a feeling for Leeds of, oof, what could have been.
Yeah.
And now they're scrapping it with Sidney van Hooijdonk, and they're going, how's it turned out like this?
Yeah.
You know, we should be up against, Erling Haaland. And I'm marking Sidney van Hooijdonk. Like, where's this gone wrong on the journey? And we've been there before. Right? We've been there before where you go, how has it turned out like this? Well, I tell you how it's turned out like this. You weren't good enough. Right? And now you're playing against Norwich City and we are good enough. It's, small, very small differences.
I tell you who is looking seriously saucy against Leeds. Borja Signs.
He's good. He's our best player.
There was a moment against them in the first leg where Borja Signs took it past three players. Two in one go, sort of went in between them, and then did some sort of like weird pirouette to take it past the other, and then he won the free kick. And I thought, Signs has absolutely got the better of them there, right? And I think there's this whole thing of we're second best all over the pitch, we can't touch them. Oh boy, we can touch them all right. Mate, seriously, I really... But, I like the fact that we're underdogs. I like the fact that we're up against it. The narrative is great.
Yeah.
The pressure is on Leeds. As much as, Daniel Farke's doing his usual waffle in the press about how it's 50. Oh, God, no, it's not. Oh, God, no, it's not. All the pressure is mounting on Leeds. It's huge. It's an absolute... Elland Road is a bloody pressure cooker. And I tell you what, it's a pressure cooker that's been on all season long and it's boiling over. Yeah? You've got a shitty fucking... I don't know, what do you cook? Like a really crappy beef casserole that's been boiling away all season and it's starting to bubble over.
Oof.
And it bubbles over when we rock up at Elland Road once Signs slots home the opener. And keyword there, opener.
Twitter questions.
Kicking off with the X statements, rants and raves and probably arousals and all sorts in there. Is the Unthanked Kitchen. Of course, if you fancy a absolutely incredible breakfast on Unthanked Road, go and check out the Unthanked Kitchen. Shameless plug, they don't even sponsor yet, Chris. You're more than welcome. Statement. Big Bad Barnes back for Thursday. Ooh. Bring it on. Maybe he's in the know.
I think...
Maybe he knows that Big Bad Barnes is coming back for Thursday.
Well, actually, he might be, because Big Bad Barnesy...
I saw it.
...was outside the Unthanked Kitchen.
He was next door.
And maybe Dunny's gone, he's walking well.
I reckon
I think Barnes... Right, here we go. Here's the outlandish prediction.
Go on.
We can't go a TNC podcast without it.
Come on.
Big Bad Barnes is the difference on Thursday, and his influence sends us to Wembley. No, go. Let's be brave.
In terms of what? Like a goal?
No, I think we're still the tie is level.
Yes.
Barnes comes on 70th minute, changes the game. I'm not saying he necessarily scores.
How's he changing?
His influence, his hold-up play, his ability to bring Sargent into the ball, a couple of elbows here and there.
Yeah.
A bit of housery, we call it.
Yeah.
Big Bad Barnes comes on. At that moment, we're going, oof. Maybe we're going to have to rely on a Sidney Van Hooijdonk penalty. Not the end of the world, but don't really want it to go down to that. And instead, it's done. It's dusted.
Yeah.
Book the bus. I tell you what's also got me very excited, Chris Reeve.
Come on.
Watching the other playoff leg. I've watched that and gone, we beat both of these.
And I told you that. Whoever wins out of Leeds Norwich goes upstairs to the Premier League. I'm telling you, mate. I'm fucking telling you.
Oh.
Jamie Everson is also in with a statement. He was, of course, a negative Nancy last week, and he says, statement. No 2-goal advantage, it's over. And I'm sure there's lots of Norwich fans that feel like that, right?
Well, I think we were the ones that said it, weren't we?
No. Jamie said it, and we sort of semi-agreed with him.
Here we go then. One of my favourite statements.
We've just had to cut. We've just had to cut something out. Just please read it, Jack. I'd like people to guess what we've just had to cut out. Right, read the statement, Jack.
Chris, not you.
Yep.
Chris gets in touch. This is a cracker. This is an absolute cracker.
What's Chris saying?
Chris is the highlight of my day. The Queen of Iceni was so busy, the wife and I grabbed a jug of beer from Hollywood Bowl. I had a few quid in change, so we had to go on the 2p machines.
Yeah.
I only went and bagged the 500 ticket jackpot and got a Sonic the Hedgehog mug.
Wow.
He puts in brackets, I'm 34 this month. Imagine that.
Chris. Yeah,
Could you get a Sonic the Hedgehog mug into the ground?
I love that from you, Chris. That is
Imagine
superb.
that. He must have been thinking at that point, surely we go on and win today. Nailing the 500 ticket jackpot.
That's a good football story, by the way. I like those.
What a start for Chris.
I like a really random football story like that. I have to say that is very good. Right, here we go. What about this from Jay at NCFC024? He's coming with a fact. By the time Norwich City play their next home game, it will have been at least 279 days since the last defeat at Carrow Road. I tell you what.
That's a long while.
That's a long while. And I'll throw a question back at that, Jay. Will David Wagner be in charge?
Well, we know the next game at Carrow is going to be in the Premier League. That's for sure. Look, to be fair, in terms of, we berate the cost of our season tickets and they're not cheap. We've had some fun at Carrow Road in 2024.
Yes, we have.
It's been good.
Yeah.
The home form's been good.
2024's been good. Yes.
Statement from Maxim. He says Wagner is going to make Roy Hodgson look like Jurgen Klopp with his setup at Elland Road. That is, a few people have been saying that as well as you, and I am worried about the setup at Elland Road. Look, I've been a bit, boisterous on this, trying to get myself up for it.
Yeah.
Do you want the negative? Can I just get my negativity out really quickly?
Go.
So it's just gone.
Yeah,
and
gone. Right.
I think there's a chance.
I'm going to call this Jack's window of truth.
Yeah, I just want to get this out there so I'm not taking any negative energy into Leeds. There's a risk. Elland Road's bouncing. We set up defensively. It's 2-0 in the opening 20 minutes and it's game over.
Yes.
Like, that is a possibility.
Yes, it is.
And that concerns me.
It's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Don't be mistaken. And that's why it's really important that those boys play an absolute blinder.
One would hope that these Norwich players, as well as Wagner, you would have thought of, this is last chance saloon now. You have to go at it. You have to go for it. Surely going to Elland Road and sticking 11 behind the ball, what's the point of playing football if you're going to do that?
On the ball updates with a question. Do you see Norwich getting promoted to the Premier League next season? And how do you think we will get there if we are? Is this squad good enough? Interested to see what you think. So on the ball updates.
Sorry, say that again.
So on the ball updates wants us to fast forward to the end of next season. And he wants us to envision that we are still in the Championship fighting for the Premier League. So he says, question, do you see Norwich getting promoted to the Premier League next season? And how do you think we will get there if we are?
Well, we got this.
Is this squad good enough?
we got this season? That's so negative. Why are you reading out such negativity?
I don't think it's negative from on the ball.
No, okay,
it's
so
a fair shout.
You've got
Say we don't go up.
Sure.
And then next season we're fighting to go up.
Yeah.
And maybe let's just play along and say we do go up.
Yeah.
How do we go up? And then is the squad going to be good enough even then?
Well, the squad's going to be different. We know that, and I think there will be a couple of. If we don't go up this summer, there'll be some sales. So you're going to make some probably quite considerable cash, whether it's Science or Sauer or Sargent or Gunn, whoever it may be. There'll be a bit of money there. You've got a couple of exciting loanees coming back. Hopefully we can keep hold of them.
Yes.
Brad Hills,
Yep.
Abu Kamara.
Yes,
You've got a player in Kenabo who there's a lot of excitement about. So there's some youth coming in, and that excites me. Vicente Reyes, the goalkeeper, he's meant to be very good.
Yes.
So that could be really exciting. There'll be a little bit of reinvestment, I'm hoping. So this will be a rejuvenated side. You just have to hope that it's good enough. I also think you're not unlike this season where you've got a really good top 3 teams. I don't think you're going to have that next season. I think that the quality of the Championship is degrading year on year. So I think it does become easier.
Because of the gap between the Premier League and Championship?
Yeah, and look who's coming down. Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton. I mean, maybe one of those might contend for the title. I don't think all 3 will.
I think Luton will be in the playoffs, definitely.
Right.
With that, and I think they've been extremely clever with their transfer strategy in the Premier League. Actually, I could see Burnley having a transitional year. I don't think they'll keep hold of their quality players. I think Sheffield United are fucking garbage anyway, to be honest with you. I do. I really do. I think United are absolute garbage. Honestly, I think they're one of the most overrated teams out there.
The squad will be different. It'll be fascinating to see who's in charge.
Yes, it will be. But look,
I'm edging towards it not being Wagner. But I'm certainly not ruling the possibility of him staying out. I just think for both parties, Napa and Wagner, does Wagner want to go through this again?
Well, look, I left the ground on Sunday. When was the game? Sunday. And Craigo, who sits next to us, my brother-in-law, good old boy, said, I think that was Wagner's goodbye. Because you'll notice he came up to the Barclay and sort of... He was ahead of the players once. He's not when we did. He was ahead of the players, and he was sort of making a real sort of statement of saying, "Thank you."
Okay.
That's not my opinion. That's Craigo's opinion. I wonder if anyone else sort of clocked that vibe.
I tell you what, I did clock when they were walking
I don't know if we can read into that. To be honest with you.
I tell you what, I did clock.
Go on.
Grant Hanley just eyeballing every Leeds fan. Did you see that? Yes. They were giving him some stick, maybe because of his Blackburn ties, and Hanley was just laughing at them.
Yeah,
laughing.
Oh, good.
Brilliant. Love.
Do you know what I would say actually? It's an unpopular opinion.
It's not like you.
Well, during the game, actually, I thought that the Leeds fans were actually pretty average at best. But I was very impressed with what the Leeds fans did after the game.
Got them fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The players all came over, and the Leeds fans, I really liked the way that they were just like, it was just a wall of noise at the Leeds players. And I thought, fucking hell, like, fair play. Like, that's what you want as a player. To be fair, though, thank you, because then the Barclay then mirrored that, and we did that to the Norwich players. So I think that was something that I just sort of thought, actually, do you know what? I fucking really respect that, actually. I thought that was quite good.
And also, I think you have to, I don't know why the away fans get such small allocations in these playoff games, because usually it's more in normal league games. Maybe it's because they want to give even more of a home advantage. But, you know, there weren't, Carrow Road was lively. There wasn't a massive bunch of Leeds fans because they sold out really quickly and it's a small allocation. It will be the same at Elland Road. I think we're only taking 2,000.
By the way, speaking of the atmosphere, I thought the welcome for the Norwich players
looked good.
Coming off the bus, all the flares and the flags. That was brilliant, actually. That was really, really good. My eyes have lit up, Jack. I've just seen a statement/prediction from Arthur Kemp.
Great name.
Says, I don't know why, but that game of football has just got me pumped for a win on pens. The winning pen, Sydney, as he shushes...
This is your burner account.
As he shushes the Leeds fans.
Imagine if it just turns out that Van Hooydonk's a real bad boy and just loves winding away fans up.
could be.
I mean, that would be completely unnecessary to shush them, but it would be great if he did so.
You'd make a serious amount of money on that, wouldn't you? Sydney's Van Hooijdonk to score on a pen.
This is a good one from Ricardo.
Come on. What a name, by the way. Name of the week. Ricardo. Love
that. Chris Gorham said before the game he felt not having a lead going into the second leg might actually be beneficial, as the temptation to sit in and defend, which we're not good at, won't be there, and we're better on the attack. What do you think? Well, look, I'm certainly not going to argue with Chris Gorham.
No.
I mean, that man is always right.
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah.
Chris is right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, there is a mental, point to that. Maybe we were playing for the 0-0. Maybe we were luring Leeds in.
Yeah.
Maybe we were going, here you go, Leeds.
Yeah.
You think you've got us.
Yeah.
This has been a season-long plan.
Almost like a little tease.
Absolutely a tease. This has been a season-long plan of going, we're really shit away from home, but actually we're not. This is the point. We're not.
You think the whole thing has been a facade to trick Leeds?
Exactly that. Exactly.
We've completely lost it
No,
now.
because look how good we've been at home.
I'm really looking forward to this season ending so I don't have to do this podcast with you anymore.
I've just this moment cracked it because I've not been able to work out why there's been such a contrast between home and away. We've been really good at home. And this is why. Wagner has predicted we'll play Leeds Elland Road in the second leg, and we are going to go there, Chris. And I've warned you. So don't get too carried away on Thursday when we're 3-0 up in half an hour. This is going to be a truly scintillating show. Strap in.
I've got a rave, and I can't believe we've not already spoken about him, actually. Finley H has got a rave. Nunez has been great for a while. We need to talk about Marcelino Nunez. He's magic. Super Marcelino. What performance. That tackle.
Oh, that was the moment.
That tackle.
Gave me a head rush.
That tackle.
I thought I was going to have to call some first aid. I was seeing stars.
And do you know what? He did it in like quite a sexy way as well, actually. Like, it wasn't... He didn't get any meat on the bone, which I quite like in a tackle, actually. He didn't take the player out. He just sort of swooped around him.
Swooped and scooped.
Which is probably how you should probably do it. But do you know what? That tackle and the performance on the whole was brilliant. And to back it up with facts...
And they don't care about feelings.
These facts supplied by @the Norwich Hub on X. It says Marcelino Nunez won the most duels, 10 in the match.
Wow.
And Marcelino Nunez had the most tackles, 6 in the match.
He was great. That was one of his best. He was disciplined.
Yeah.
He got forwards. Tackling wise, he was great. There was also another moment that really got me going.
From Marcelino?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
What was it?
Taking a corner down our end.
Yeah.
The actual resulting corner was absolutely diabolical, but we'll forget about that.
Yeah.
You know what I love when players are coming over for a corner?
Right, go on.
Getting the crowd going.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Yeah, I like that.
God.
Give us a bit.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it when a player just takes the corner.
Yeah.
I want the player to be... But it's part of the corner routine.
Yeah.
In fact, Andy Hughes, if you're listening, as part of the corner kick routine, it should be within the Norwich player's contract to look in the eyes of the Barclay or the Snake Pit and give us like a... I mean, look, if you give us one of them, that's 500 quid. A grand... For a badge pant, a grand. And, I don't know, for something more like... If you do a Robert Snodgrass and like tell us all to fuck off, 2 grand.
3 grand.
I fucking love
You know what I'd love to see
Come on.
at Elland Road?
Go on.
Actually, maybe not Elland Road. At Wembley.
Come on.
And I'm going to be sitting right next to the corner flag, waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
I want Marcelino Nunez to offer me out for a fight.
Come on then. Come on.
And I will love that.
But do you know what the flip side of that is? So I mean what I've said there. I really want that to be a part of every single corner kick
Instead
routine.
of where they stick a hand up.
However,
is it going front post, middle, or bag?
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Badge pan.
Yeah.
Or offer us out for a fight.
I agree. But the other side of that is it's so annoying and frustrating when the performance is shite and then a player does it. It's kind of like, no, you need to give us something to support as well.
And also,
the
preceding corner was one of the worst I've ever seen. So Marcelino, good start.
Yes.
Bad execution.
Nunez has had a brilliant 2024 though, and fair play to David Wagner for unlocking that.
And Stuart Webber.
You cannot take that away from him. Brilliant. Come on, what have we got next, Jack?
Noah, sexual semi-final statement.
Right.
When Van Hooijdonk came on...
Can you read this?
Yeah. When Van Hooijdonk came on, I could sense he's got a big moment in him. Just wait for the second leg. He's cooking.
Oh, God. We've absolutely lost the plot. Look, if Sydney scores, we're on the pitch. We've said this before. The fans are singing it, and I think they're right. Jack Self says, rant, bought myself a programme of memorabilia for the game, left it in my seat at half-time, came back and it had gone. Jack?
No.
Well, look, that is disappointing, but what I would say is keep your programme on you.
Yeah. Never let it out of your sight.
Programmes are a rare thing now, and they cost a lot.
They do.
So, you've got to keep these. This is Norwich City memorabilia.
Programmes are for life, not just for the first half.
Yeah. No. On a serious note, sorry that your programme's gone missing, Jack. If
you find it, let us know.
Ben, statement, a couple of times Johnny breezed past those Premier League players as if they weren't there. Look, we know that Johnny Rowe's got this in his back pocket, to say the least.
I like this statement from Lamont.
Who? Hang on.
Lamont.
Name of the week.
Statement I actually don't think yesterday was as bad as people made it out to be. Sure.
No, I agree.
Sure, we should have gone for a win, but going toe-to-toe with Leeds is better than I thought it would go.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I
think that's a very sensible take. I think there's a lot of course, we are thinking in the backs of our heads. Most Norwich fans are thinking in the backs of their heads, oh yeah, we needed a 1 or 2 goal advantage to take to Elland Road. But we're still in the game. We're still in this game.
We've bought the ticket.
Yeah, we bought the ticket. We're 90 minutes away. Well, actually, we're more than 90 minutes away because it's going to go to extra time and penalties. Trust me. Bookmark this, clip it up. But we're in the race for Wembley.
Well, Ben has a great question to follow on to that. And I'm glad you went down that line.
Go on.
Because you think this is happening.
Yes.
If you think when it comes down to it, who are the Norwich City penalty takers?
Ooh.
So 5.
Okay, so first, I don't believe in this absolute nonsense of your best penalty taker should be 5th. I think that's that's crap.
Sure.
Score your fucking pens. Get your best ones out of the way first.
Yeah.
Mount the pressure up.
Sure.
Sargent.
Yeah.
Got to be taking a penalty.
Yeah.
He has to be taking a penalty. If Barnes is on, then Barnes is, mate, he's a striker. If Barnes is on, he needs to be taking a penalty.
Yeah.
Johnny Rowe, cool as a cucumber, he's got to be taking a penalty. Who else would I have taken a penalty?
Gabby Sarah.
Sarah, of course.
And Nunes.
Yes.
And then, well, we've already named 5.
But
6th place. So it's up. So it's gone all the way.
Don't say it.
Sydney Van Hooydonk. A bit of that, Benny.
But do you know when Chrissy Gorham came on?
Wild card.
Remember? No, yeah, but remember when Chrissy G came on the pod and said Angus Gunn Wembley winner would be like the ultimate Norwich City win. Well, what about this? What about we get through like every player on the pitch and it's fallen to Angus Gunn to score the winning penalty? Do you know, I fancy us in penalties. No, I tell you why. Angus, big wingspan, quality shot stopper.
A bird of prey.
The best keeper. Oh, he's a proper bird of prey.
He's an eagle.
Best keeper in the fucking league. Yeah. Imagine that, looking at you, going into you'd be petrified, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, you're standing there with the ball on the spot and you see a fucking bird of prey like Angus Gunn going like that in your face, giving it the old Jersey Dudek or whatever his name is. You'd be petrified.
Yeah.
I just think that the Leeds keeper is not at it.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So you're saying actually Angus sort of wins it for us?
I would love that, obviously, for obvious reasons.
So Chris Reeve.
Yes.
Questions done.
Yes,
we had some interesting ones in there.
Yeah, and as people would have probably clocked, we've had to
cut a couple.
We've had to make a couple of cuts this week.
I love it when people throw a question in it and the first couple of lines are really, really calm.
Yeah.
And then the third line, it hits you and you go, oof, can't read that.
And that's what's happened this week. So thank you.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, fine.
I don't think you're telling the truth.
No,
I don't think you're telling the truth, Chris.
I feel right. I feel fine now.
Right.
Truthfully, I feel fine now.
Right.
Yeah. We've got through the first leg unscathed.
Okay.
Ish. We as you say, we bought the ticket, and obviously when the game kicks off, I will be absolutely shitting myself. Absolutely shitting myself. But then it turns quite quickly. After the first 20 minutes, if we've not conceded,
Big if.
Seriously, I will be really confident.
So that's your prediction. Get through the first 20 minutes. What happens if we score in the first 20 minutes? And then we try and defend the lead?
Oh, I'm in absolute heaven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, because I tell you why. Because then Leeds have got to come at us. And they open up spaces behind for Johnny Rowe, Borja Sainz, Sargent running off the back. Mate.
See, what I think you've done here...
Right, here's the next prediction. You ready? Here's the next prediction. Whoever scores first...
Oh, no. Go on.
Wins it.
Oh.
Because, I'll tell you why as well, because even if we do score first, I could still see Leeds scoring, and therefore it will still go down to pens. But because we've scored first, we win it.
Should I tell you what I think you've done here?
Go on.
Forgotten entirely what we've done all season away from home.
I know, but do you know
how many
what,
times
Jack?
have we
Good,
gone ahead
but good.
away from home
Jack,
and lost the game?
Jack. This is lottery time.
Right, okay.
This is just all form goes out the window.
Okay.
Yeah. All of the pressure is on Leeds to perform
yeah.
at home. A really tense, cagey affair. Mate, let's enjoy the occasion. I don't know, like few of the Norwich boys watch this. Seriously, fucking enjoy yourselves. Don't enjoy yourselves too much, obviously. Make sure you're defending properly, please. But seriously, fucking enjoy it. Yeah? All the pressure is on them.
Yeah.
Let's go there and piss them off. Come on.
So there's a few things that need to be done in order for us to win.
Yes.
New corner kick routine.
Yes, correct.
We need Van Hooijdonk on the 6th penalty.
Yes.
And Barnes off the bench in the 70th minute.
Yes.
Do those 3 things, see you all at Wembley. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think we've just cracked the code.
Could you imagine, Jack? Because next week we're going to be filming a pod.
I mean, this is going to be either the best one ever.
I feel like this could... Well, look, it's either going to be... Well, it's going to be a pissed pod, isn't it?
Either way.
Or it could be a counselling session. So let's see how we go.
I think if we lose this, a couple of minutes after full time, I think there's going to be a WhatsApp message off you. Are you sure you want to film on Monday?
Obviously.
I am. Look, I'm going to try and embrace the situation.
Yes.
You know, to be in the playoffs. I've got a friend, right, who's a Crawley Town fan. Brilliant guy, Ben.
Yeah. Hello, Ben.
He is going to Wembley next week for the first time ever.
I've never, ever heard of
A Crawley Town fan.
anyone knowing a Crawley Town fan.
Which
So
now
congratulations.
means there's only one team
Yeah.
in the 72 EFL clubs
Yeah.
that have never played at Wembley. Who is it?
Ipswich.
No.
Oh. Well, they've not played at the new Wembley. So
Or the old Wembley.
Oh,
or
right.
both
Okay.
of them.
Right. Go on. Who?
Accrington Stanley.
Really?
It was them and Crawley.
That's a really fun fact.
And Crawley have now pumped MK Dons.
That's a
8-1.
That is a very fun
But what I'm
fact.
saying is, in a roundabout Crawley way,
Yes.
we've got to embrace these moments.
Yes.
They don't come around too often.
Yes.
We've been in the playoffs 3 times.
Yes.
We've won once, we've lost once. We're about to make it 2 wins.
But if the worst happens and we lose, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good because there'll be change, and this club needs change. So that can only be a good thing. It's a win-win situation for Norwich City.
How have you turned it into that?
Don't know, just that.
Great. Chris, good to see you.
See you, man.
Thanks so much for watching. Borja Science t-shirts.
Yeah.
You order now. You should have it in time for the playoffs.
Oh, and shit, I almost forgot. If you've watched all up until this point, I want to see evidential proof.
Wow.
Yeah? Hashtag park the wagon.
No, because we're not going to do that.
We are going to do that.
Oh, God. Okay.
Hashtag park the wagon.
Thanks very much for watching. See you all very soon.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.